The great hall of the Galactic Council shone with strange lights and the voices of hundreds of alien species. Each species had a unique shape and voice, and all were gathered to decide the fate of humanity. Humans stood in silence, proud yet tense. Their leader, Admiral Kale, a tall man with sharp eyes, watched the room carefully. "The humans have broken the laws of the galaxy," a voice shouted from a corner. It was Counselor Vree, a reptilian alien with scales that shimmered in the light. "They attack without reason. They disturb the peace we have built for centuries." Admiral Kale took a deep breath and stepped forward. "We have done nothing to harm the galaxy. We only sought to explore. Yet, now you accuse us without proof. Is this justice?" Murmurs ran through the council hall. Some species looked uneasy. Others glared at the humans with hatred. Counselor Vree hissed, "Enough talk. The humans have grown too powerful, too fast. They cannot be trusted. The vote is clear. Humanity must be banished from the galaxy." A wave of shock ran through the human delegation. Murmurs and whispers filled the hall. Kale clenched his fists but stayed calm. He knew arguing further would only make the council angrier. The council voted. The decision was unanimous. Humanity was exiled from all known space. Every human ship, every colony, every settlement outside Earth was to leave immediately. A young human officer, Lieutenant Mara, whispered, "We are being punished for what?" "For surviving." Her voice trembled with anger and fear. Admiral Kale placed a firm hand on her shoulder. "We are not defeated. Exile does not mean finished. Humanity has only begun." The humans left the council hall. Outside, their massive fleet of ships waited, gleaming under the light of distant stars. The engines roared as the fleet prepared to leave the galaxy they once called home. Families, soldiers, scientists, all silently watched the stars disappear behind them. As they traveled, whispers spread to the alien council. "They will return," one elder counselor muttered. "And when they do, no one will stop them." The human fleet entered uncharted space, where no maps existed. The stars were different here, the nebulae strange and wild. Some ships experienced storms of energy that pulsed like lightning. Others encountered alien predators that moved faster than light. But humans adapted. Using ingenuity, quick thinking, and sheer courage, they survived. On board the flagship Resolute, Admiral Kale walked through the bridge. Screens showed alien systems, strange cosmic phenomena, and navigation paths through dangerous space. "We will not simply survive," Kale said. "We will learn, we will grow, and we will return stronger than any of them expect." Lieutenant Mara looked at the stars outside. "Do you really think we can come back and fight them?" she asked quietly. Kale smiled faintly. "Not just fight. We will change the rules of the galaxy. They cast us out because they feared us. They do not know what humanity can become." Days passed. The fleet discovered ancient alien ruins on a remote planet. These ruins were massive, older than any human history, filled with strange machines and glowing symbols. The humans landed cautiously. Some were excited, some nervous. "This could be dangerous," warned Mara. "We don't know what is here." Kale nodded. "We cannot ignore it. Knowledge is power, and humanity will use every tool it can find." The humans explored. Strange machines hummed as if they had a life of their own. Ancient writings suggested technology far beyond human understanding. But humans were clever. They began to reverse engineer what they could, studying carefully, learning quickly. Suddenly, a trap activated. Energy beams shot from the ruins, forcing humans to dodge, retreat, and think quickly. Ships fired back, lasers sparking against stone walls. Despite the danger, no human panicked. They fought smart, using tactics and strategy rather than brute force. When the battle ended, no human was killed, though some ships were damaged. The humans had survived, and they had learned. They carried with them pieces of technology and knowledge that could one day change the galaxy forever. As the fleet prepared to leave the ruins, Mara looked at Kale. "We are exiled, but we are not defeated," she said. Kale placed his hand on the control console, eyes on the stars. "Remember this, Mara. Humanity will rise from exile. And when we do, the galaxy will remember our name." Above them, unknown to humans, a spying probe sent images back to the council. Counselors whispered in fear. They are learning, growing, becoming something we cannot control. The journey into the unknown had begun. Humanity, once cast out and humiliated, was now determined to conquer the stars, and no one in the galaxy would take them lightly ever again. The human fleet moved deeper into the uncharted galaxies. Stars stretched across the blackness, some glowing bright, some dim and distant. The silence of unknown space was heavy, but humans were not afraid. They were determined. Every ship, from the massive flagship Resolute to smaller scout vessels, sailed together with purpose. On board the Resolute, Admiral Kale studied the star maps projected in the bridge. Unknown space is dangerous, he said to Lieutenant Mara, but it is also full of opportunities. We must explore, adapt, and survive. The galaxy fears us now, but one day they will regret underestimating humanity. The first challenge came sooner than expected. A cosmic storm erupted without warning. Bolts of energy tore across space, twisting gravity and sending smaller ships tumbling. Alarms blared. Engineers rushed to stabilize shields, while pilots fought to keep the fleet together. Mara gripped her console. Admiral, if we don't find a safe path, we'll lose half the fleet. Kale's voice was calm but firm. Trust the calculations. Follow my lead. Using human ingenuity, they navigated the storm. While many thought impossible, humans found weak points in the energy flows and steered the fleet through. When the storm ended, the fleet had survived, though some ships bore scorch marks and scratches. Humanity always finds a way, Kale said quietly, looking at the stars outside. We may be exiled, but we are not powerless. Days later, scouts detected moving shadows in the void. Strange, enormous creatures gliding through space like living ships. Alien predators, far larger and faster than anything humans had encountered. They attacked the fleet without warning, smashing smaller ships with powerful energy beams. Evasive maneuvers, Kale shouted. Divide the fleet and confuse them. Human pilots obeyed. They moved like a coordinated storm, weaving between stars and using decoy drones. The alien predators lunged, but humans were clever. Small fighters attacked weak points, guiding the monsters away from the fleet. In the end, the predators retreated, leaving humans alive but shaken. Every time we face danger, Mara said, breathing heavily, we grow stronger. Kale nodded. And every victory teaches us something. Never forget that. Knowledge is more powerful than firepower. Weeks passed. The fleet discovered a mysterious planet, covered in ruins older than human history. Towering spires and glowing symbols suggested an advanced civilization long gone. Humans landed cautiously. The ground was alive with strange energy, and even the soil seemed to hum beneath their boots. This place is alive, whispered a scientist, Dr. Alara. We could learn technology here no one has seen in thousands of years. Humans explored carefully. Ancient machines flickered to life, holographic images showing battles, stars, and civilizations long destroyed. Admiral Kale observed silently. He knew this knowledge could make humanity unstoppable. But the ruins were not unguarded. Energy traps activated, forcing humans to think quickly and act fast. Beams of light shot from walls, forcing scouts to dive, dodge, and strategize. Humans worked together, using both brains and bravery. Even when the traps seemed impossible, they found ways to disable them, taking pieces of alien technology with them. Each discovery is a step closer to power, Kale said. The galaxy cast us out. Let's show them why that was their greatest mistake. Yet, not all was peaceful. A spying probe had already observed the humans' activity and sent data back to the Galactic Council. Unknown species watch humanity with growing fear. They are learning, a council muttered, and what they learn will make them unstoppable. Meanwhile, humans began to adapt the alien technology for their own use. Small weapons, defensive shields, and navigation tools were copied, modified, and improved. Humans, with their quick thinking and ingenuity, were turning ancient knowledge into modern power. As the fleet left the ruins, stars stretched endlessly before them. The humans knew they were only beginning. Every day, they faced unknown dangers, cosmic storms, predators, and mysterious alien devices. But every day, they survived and learned. Kale stood on the bridge of the Resolute, staring into the vast darkness. "We are exiled," he said. "But exile is not the end. It is the beginning. Humanity will rise, and one day, every species that doubted us will remember our name with fear." Mara looked at him, determination in her eyes. "We will conquer, not just survive." Kale nodded. "Exactly. And the stars themselves will bear witness to the rise of humanity." The human fleet continued deeper into unknown space, their engines humming, their resolve unbroken. Each star they passed, each planet they charted, and each danger they survived was a step toward their destiny, a destiny that would one day change the galaxy forever. The human fleet had traveled far from the edge of the galaxy, exploring uncharted territories. Rumors of their survival and strange alien technology had begun to spread. Many systems had never seen humans before, and most underestimated them, believing the exiled species to be weak and desperate. One such system was Tyrannos, a cluster of planets locked in a bloody civil war. Two alien factions, the Zorvans and the Krells, fought endlessly over territory and resources. Neither side expected outsiders to intervene. Humans, however, saw opportunity. Admiral Kale called a meeting in the Resolute's command room. "This system is weak," he said, pointing to star maps. "Its people are divided. We can use strategy, not just firepower, to win. Remember, we are exiled, but we are not powerless. We will strike smart, not reckless." Lieutenant Mara nodded. "We have weapons and knowledge the galaxy has never seen. If we plan carefully, we can take control without unnecessary losses." Kale smiled faintly. "Exactly. Let the galaxy doubt us. It is our advantage." The humans approached the Tyrannos system quietly, sensors scanning the planets. The Zorvans were first to notice them, sending a fleet to intercept. Confident in their superior numbers, the Zorvans attacked without hesitation. "Prepare for combat," Kale ordered, "but follow the plan. Do not fight blindly." Human ships dispersed, scattering in unusual formations that the Zorvans did not anticipate. Small, fast attack vessels darted around massive battleships, confusing enemy sensors. The humans used the terrain of the system, asteroid fields, gravity wells, and orbital debris, to their advantage. The Zorvans unleashed their full power, firing lasers and missiles, but the human fleet was prepared. Shield generators absorbed damage, and precision strikes disabled enemy weapons before they could hit the humans. It was a battle of brains as much as firepower. Mara piloted a strike fighter through the chaos. "Admiral, they're trying to surround us," she shouted. Kale remained calm. "Lead them into the trap. The Krells are watching. Let them think the Zorvans have the advantage." The humans feigned weakness, retreating strategically toward the inner planets. The Zorvans followed eagerly, unaware that the Krells had been secretly monitoring the battle. When the Zorvans were deep into the trap zone, the Krells attacked from behind, creating confusion and chaos. "Now!" Kale shouted. Human ships turned swiftly, using energy bursts and clever maneuvers to cut off the Zorvans' escape. Within hours, the Zorvans' fleet was shattered. Survivors fled, and the Krells, realizing the humans' intelligence and power, surrendered. Humans landed on the main planet of the system. They did not enslave or destroy. Instead, they offered peace and protection in exchange for allegiance. Many alien species, exhausted by endless war, welcomed the humans' leadership. Humanity's reputation began to spread as a force that was strategic, intelligent, and fair, but also ruthless when necessary. Admiral Kale addressed the newly allied leaders. "We were exiled for no reason. We were cast out because they feared what we could become. Humanity does not seek revenge without cause, but we will not be weak. Stand with us, and together we can survive and grow." Meanwhile, unknown to humans, the Galactic Council was watching. Holographic feeds showed the battle, and whispers of fear ran through the chambers. "They are not just surviving," one counselor said. "They are learning, they are growing, and they are winning." Even within the Tyrannos system, rumors began to spread. Traders, travelers, and scouts carried stories of the humans' clever tactics, precision strikes, and calm determination. Every story made humans seem more formidable. Lieutenant Mara looked at Kale as the fleet prepared to leave. "We did it. We conquered without being reckless, without slaughtering them all." Kale placed his hand on her shoulder. "Yes, that is the way of humans. We fight smart, we survive, and we learn. Remember this, Mara. The galaxy underestimates us because they do not understand us. And that mistake will cost them dearly one day." As the fleet left Tyrannos, humans had more than victory. They had experience, respect from alien leaders, and most importantly, proof of their potential. No longer were they seen as the exiled weaklings. Slowly, quietly, humanity's rise had begun. And somewhere in the shadows, agents of the Galactic Council watched, worry spreading across their faces. "This is only the beginning," one whispered. "If they continue like this, we may have created a force we cannot control." The human fleet sailed onward, deeper into the galaxy, stronger and smarter with every challenge. Each star system, each new encounter, was another step toward a destiny that no one, neither council nor alien, could predict. Humanity was no longer just surviving. Humanity was conquering. Far across the galaxy, in the towering halls of the Galactic Council, tension filled the air. Holographic screens displayed live feeds from the Tyrannos system, showing human ships, their formations, and the aftermath of the first conquest. Counselors whispered in fear, their faces pale. "They are not just surviving," hissed Counselor Vree, the reptilian alien who had first demanded humanity's exile. "They are winning, and with every victory, they grow stronger. We may have underestimated them, dangerously so." An elder counselor, Malthar, spoke calmly but with warning in his voice. "We exiled them thinking we removed the threat. But now, we are watching a species that learns, adapts, and conquers. This is unprecedented." In secret, the Council had deployed agents to spy on humanity. Tiny stealth probes, disguised as asteroids and cosmic debris, followed the human fleet. One such probe transmitted images of humans examining alien ruins, learning lost technology, and building new weapons and defenses. "They are experimenting with ancient tech," Malthar said, eyes narrowing. "If they succeed in adapting it, no fleet in the galaxy can match them." Meanwhile, on board the Resolute, Admiral Kale walked the engineering deck, inspecting new modifications to the fleet. Engineers worked tirelessly, integrating alien technology scavenged from ruins into human ships. Shields were stronger, engines faster, weapons more precise. Lieutenant Mara approached him, holding a glowing device. "This device, it could double the range of our rail cannons," she said. Kale nodded. "Exactly. We are learning faster than anyone can imagine. Every system we visit, every artifact we discover, adds to our power. One day, the Council will regret ever exiling us." As humans developed new technology, they also trained pilots and soldiers in advanced tactics, combining intelligence with speed and precision. Every fleet maneuver, every engagement, and even every practice drill prepared humanity for a future no one else could foresee. Back in the council chambers, debate grew heated. Some counselors argued for preemptive strikes against humanity. Others warned that attacking a species as intelligent and adaptable could spark disaster. Counselor Vree roared, "We must act! Send fleets to destroy them before they gain more power." Malthar shook his head. "Patience, Vree. Strike too early, and they may survive and return stronger. Observe them, understand them. If they continue on this path, the galaxy may be forced to bow before them." The Council's fear was not unfounded. Humans were no ordinary species. Their ability to adapt, innovate, and coordinate was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. On a remote planet, humans tested new weapon systems, combining human design with alien technology. Rail cannons capable of striking from orbit, stealth drones that could evade detection, and energy shields that absorbed massive attacks. Every test improved their confidence. Humanity is no longer just exiled, Kale said to his officers. "We are becoming unstoppable. The Council believes they have control, but they only watch. And watching does not prepare them for what is coming. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Mara monitored transmissions from Council. She noticed unusual signals, indicating surveillance. "Admiral," she said, "they are watching us. The Council has eyes everywhere." Kale smiled grimly. "Let them watch. Every probe, every spy, is learning nothing they cannot see. We will grow stronger in the open. And when the time comes, the galaxy will see our power for itself." Human engineers continued working through the night. Drones tested weapons in orbit, while simulation prepared fleets for possible attacks. Despite being exiled, humans had no fear. Their exile had sharpened their minds, honed their strategies, and strengthened their unity. Weeks passed. Reports from spies and scouts confirmed humans' progress, and panic within the Council grew. Alien species that once laughed at humanity now whispered in fear. They are clever, they are fast, and they're not afraid. On the Resolute, Kale gathered his top officers. "The Council watches, yes, but we do not fear them. They have underestimated us from the beginning. Every obstacle, every enemy, every discovery, it prepares us for a future where humans are no longer exiled, where humans are the rulers of the stars." Lieutenant Mara's eyes glimmered with determination. "And that day will come sooner than they think." Kale looked out the bridge window at the endless stars stretching into darkness. The galaxy fears what it does not understand. Let them watch. Let them worry. Humanity will rise, and they will not know what hit them. As the fleet moved toward new systems, unknown to humans, Council replotted. Secret fleets, hidden weapons, and alliances were being formed. But one truth was clear. Humanity, even in exile, had become a force the galaxy could not ignore. And every new discovery, every battle, every victory, would bring them closer to ultimate power. The human fleet had grown stronger with each conquest, their ships faster, shields tougher, and weapons deadlier. Rumors of their victories had spread across the galaxy, reaching systems far and wide. It was only a matter of time before someone tried to challenge them. That challenge came from the Zerath Armada, a massive alien force sent by a coalition of neighboring systems to crush humanity before they could grow any stronger. Hundreds of enormous ships approached the human fleet, their weapons glowing like burning stars. The Zerath were confident. They had numbers, firepower, and experience. Humans had only courage and strategy. On board the flagship Resolute, Admiral Kale studied the approaching armada. "They believe in overwhelming force," he said calmly. "That is their weakness. We will use their confidence against them. Prepare for battle." Lieutenant Mara looked at the massive fleet on the holographic display. "We can't match them ship for ship, Admiral. They'll crush us if we fight head-on." Kale nodded. "Exactly. That's why we won't fight head-on. We will fight smart." The human fleet divided into smaller groups, moving in unpredictable formations. Drones and decoy ships created illusions, making the Zerath believe they were attacking one area while humans struck elsewhere. The humans used asteroid fields, gravity wells, and nebula clouds as cover, striking from blind spots the aliens did not anticipate. The first shots rang out. Zerath lasers scorched the darkness, but human shields absorbed most of the impact. Small fighters darted between massive battleships, hitting weak points and disabling key weapons. It was chaos, but humans moved like a well-oiled machine. Mara piloted a strike craft, weaving between enemy fire. "Admiral, their flagship is trying to flank us." Kale smiled. "Lead them into the trap. The fleet is ready." As the Zerath flagship moved forward, human forces triggered a coordinated ambush. Hidden ships fired from the asteroid field, catching the enemy by surprise. Energy beams tore through the alien formation, and precision strikes crippled their engines. The Zerath faltered, confused and off balance. Every maneuver showed the human superior tactics. Where the Zerath relied on brute strength, humans used intelligence, speed, and coordination. Smaller ships drew enemy fire, while larger vessels targeted command centers. Explosions lit up space, but humans stayed calm and precise. Hours passed. The battle raged and humans faced losses, but their strategy worked. The Zerath, frustrated and demoralized, began to retreat. Kale ordered the fleet to pursue cautiously, disabling their ships without unnecessary slaughter. The aliens who survived were left to carry the message back. Humanity was not to be underestimated. When the last Xerath ship fled, the human fleet regrouped. Ships were damaged, some pilots were injured, but the victory was complete. Humanity had survived against overwhelming odds, and their reputation grew even stronger. Mara approached Kale on the bridge. "We did it. We survived and we won." Kale looked out at the stars, his expression solemn. "Yes, but remember, Mara, this is only the beginning. The galaxy will try to stop us. Every species, every counselor will fear what we are becoming. And every challenge we face now prepares us for the future. The humans spend days repairing and upgrading ships, learning from every mistake. The battle taught them new tactics, weaknesses to exploit, and strategies to perfect. The fleet became faster, more agile, and more coordinated than ever before. Back in the Galactic Council, panic spread. Holographic feeds showed the outcome of the battle. Counselors whispered, fearful and uncertain. "They are unstoppable," one said. "Every engagement, every victory, they grow stronger. We cannot fight them directly. But if we wait too long, humanity will control the galaxy." Unknown to the Council, humans were not only preparing for war, they were also planning alliances with freed systems, building influence and loyalty. Every conquest, every victory, and every act of fairness made alien species respect and fear humans in equal measure. Kale addressed his officers on the Resolute. "We faced overwhelming power and survived. That is the mark of humanity. We do not rely solely on strength. We rely on intelligence, courage, and unity. Remember this for every battle ahead." Mara nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "The galaxy will learn, Admiral. They cannot stop what humanity is becoming." Kale placed his hand on the console, staring into the black void of space. "Let them come. Let every fleet, every counselor, and every enemy prepare. Humanity has faced the impossible, and we have survived. And one day, the galaxy will know that humans are not just survivors. Humans are conquerors." The human fleet continued its journey through the stars, battle-hardened, stronger, and wiser. Every system they passed, every alien who witnessed their power, and every counselor who feared them understood one undeniable truth. The exile humans were rising, and no one could stop them. The human fleet had grown in power, skill, and reputation. Systems that once ignored humanity now welcomed them as allies or feared them as unstoppable conquerors. Every victory, every strategic move, had transformed the exile humans into a force the galaxy could not ignore. Admiral Kale stood on the bridge of the Resolute, looking at the holographic projection of the Galactic Council headquarters. Its massive structure floated above a central star, protected by fleets and shields. "This is where it begins," Kale said quietly. "The Council cast us out, but they will pay attention now. It is time to return." Lieutenant Mara tightened her grip on the console. "Do you think they will surrender or fight?" Kale's eyes were sharp. "They may try both, but they cannot win. They do not understand humanity. They never have." The human fleet approached the Council space cautiously, cloaked by nebula clouds and stealth drones. Rumors of their return had already reached the Council, and panic spread among the alien leaders. For the first time, the exiled humans were the ones in control. Inside the Council chambers, alien leaders argued. Counselor Vree, pale and furious, slammed his claws on the table. "They are here. The humans have returned. We must strike immediately or all is lost." Malthar raised a calming claw. "Do not rush. Let us observe. Let us negotiate if possible. But know this, they are no longer weak. They are strong, cunning, and relentless. We must prepare for consequences we cannot yet imagine." Meanwhile, humans landed near a neutral system orbiting the Council space. Their superior technology and strategic positioning made it clear that a direct confrontation would favor humans. Kale had studied the Council fleets, their weaknesses, and their predictable patterns. Every move humans made was calculated, precise, and purposeful. Kale addressed his officers. "We do not attack blindly. We demonstrate our power and demand respect. Let them see what humanity has become." Let them understand that exile was a mistake. As they moved closer, Council fleets prepared to intercept. The skies filled with alien ships, glowing weapons ready to fire. But humans were ready. Stealth ships bypassed front lines, disabling shields silently. Rail cannons struck from orbit, cutting off reinforcements. Smaller fighters distracted enemy forces, while the larger fleet maneuvered into advantageous positions. The battle was not one of destruction alone. It was a display of intelligence and precision. Council ships, superior in size, were outmatched by humans' tactics, coordination, and unexpected use of technology. Every maneuver, every strike, left Council leaders stunned. During the confrontation, Kale broadcast a message to the Council. Counselors of the galaxy, you cast humanity out. You exiled us, doubting our strength. Today we return, not for revenge, but for respect. Recognize our power. Treat humanity as equals or face consequences. The choice is yours. Silence filled the council chambers. Alien leaders looked at one another, fear and awe mixing in their eyes. The humans had proven their superiority, without unnecessary slaughter. Every move had been calculated to send a clear warning. Counselor Vree hissed, "We cannot allow this. Strike them down." Malthar held him back. "No, we are outmatched. Humanity is no longer exiled. They have surpassed us in every way. We must negotiate or be destroyed." Kale smiled faintly as he monitored the council. They are learning too late. Human fleets offered aid and alliances to systems previously under council control. Planets that once feared humans now chose cooperation over submission. The reputation of humanity as brilliant, fair, yet unstoppable spread like wildfire. Mara stood beside Kale. "The galaxy is changing because of us. They all see it now." Kale nodded. "Yes, and every system that joins humanity strengthens our position. The Council may have exiled us, but they did not foresee what we could become. Exile forged us. It taught us strategy, patience, and ingenuity. Now we lead." Within weeks, the Council had no choice but to acknowledge humanity. They offered diplomacy, requested peace, and accepted human terms. The humans had returned stronger, smarter, and more united than ever. Kale addressed his fleet over the communication channels. "We came as exiles. We faced storms, predators, and armies that sought our end. We survived, we learned, and we conquered. The Council knows our strength now. Remember this. Humanity rises not by chance, but by courage, intelligence, and unity. And the stars belong to us." Lieutenant Mara smiled, eyes gleaming with pride. "We have returned, and the galaxy will never forget it." As the fleet moved forward, every system, every alien, and every counselor knew one undeniable truth. The exiled humans had returned, and they were unstoppable. Humanity was no longer weak. Humanity was a rising empire, ready to conquer the stars. The galaxy was changing. Systems that once ignored or mocked humanity now looked upon humans with fear and respect. Planets that had suffered under wars or oppression welcomed human fleets as protectors and leaders. Humanity, once exiled, now stood on the edge of total influence across the stars. Admiral Kale stood on the bridge of the Resolute, his gaze fixed on the countless stars ahead. "We have faced storms, alien predators, armies larger than ours, and even the Galactic Council itself," he said. "And yet, here we are, stronger, smarter, united. The galaxy sees what we are." Lieutenant Mara smiled beside him. "And they know we are not done. Every system we liberate, every ally we gain, strengthens our empire." The final confrontation with the Galactic Council had already proven humanity's supremacy. No fleet could match their strategy, intelligence, and adaptability. Alien leaders across the galaxy now sought cooperation instead of confrontation. Kale summoned the leaders of allied systems to the Resolute for a council of their own. Planets that had once been at war now worked together, forming a new interstellar alliance led by humans. The alliance was not based on fear alone. It was based on trust, respect, and mutual benefit. During the assembly, Kale addressed them. "Humans were exiled, cast out from the galaxy we helped explore. We could have sought revenge, but humanity is not defined by hate. We are defined by intelligence, courage, and unity. Together, we can create a galaxy where war is not endless, where systems thrive, and where no species is weak or oppressed. We will lead, yes, but with fairness and strength. The alien leaders listened, awed by his words. Even those who had once fought against humans could not deny the truth. Humanity had risen, not by brute force alone, but by strategy, ingenuity, and moral strength. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council had been reduced to a shadow of its former power. Counselors who had once exiled humanity now had no choice but to negotiate. Kale met them personally in orbit, showing both strength and mercy. "You cast us out," he told the council. "You thought we were weak. Today we offer peace, but only if you recognize humanity as a rising power in this galaxy. Do not mistake mercy for weakness. Humanity will defend its allies and its empire without hesitation." Some counselors bowed in acceptance. Others, stubborn and proud, left quietly, realizing they could no longer challenge the humans. The era of exiled weakness was over. Human engineers and scientists continued to advance technology at an unprecedented pace. They combined human innovation with alien discoveries to create fleets faster, stronger, and smarter than anything seen before. Rail cannons could strike across entire systems. Stealth drones could infiltrate enemy space undetected, and shields could withstand storms of energy that once would have destroyed entire planets. But humans did not rule by fear alone. They brought prosperity and stability. Trade routes flourished, conflicts were mediated, and knowledge spread across systems. Humanity became a symbol of strength, wisdom, and hope. Kale walked through a newly liberated planet. Seeing children play under safe skies, marketplaces full of trade, and scientists collaborating freely, he turned to Mara. "We have done more than survive," he said. "We have built a galaxy that remembers the exiled humans not as weak, but as leaders, as protectors, as conquerors in the truest sense." Mara looked at him, pride in her eyes. "The galaxy will never forget. And this is only the beginning." Indeed, humanity's rise was only the first chapter in a new era. The stars were no longer territories to fear or avoid. They were opportunity for exploration, innovation, and unity under human leadership. Systems once at war now shared resources, knowledge, and culture. Aliens who had laughed at humanity now respected them as equals, or feared them as adversaries, should they ever turn hostile. In the depths of space, Kale sent one final message to all systems. Humans were exiled. We were cast out and told we could not survive. Today, we have conquered not just systems, but the hearts and minds of the galaxy. We will protect, we will lead, and we will explore. Humanity rises not for vengeance, but for destiny. The stars are ours, and they will remember the day humans returned. As the message spread, every star system knew the truth. Humanity, once weak and exiled, had become the dominant force in the galaxy, respected and feared in equal measure. And in the hearts of humans, one thought remained clear. Exile had forged them, challenges had sharpened them, and now, nothing in the galaxy could stop them. The exiled humans had returned. The exiled humans had conquered. The exiled humans now ruled the stars. The galaxy had changed forever. Systems that once quarreled over territory now looked to humanity for guidance. Planets thrived under protection of the human-led alliance. Trade, science, and diplomacy flourished. The exiled humans had not only returned, they had reshaped the very order of the stars. Admiral Kale stood on the observation deck of the Resolute, looking at a cluster of distant stars. "We were exiled," he said softly to Lieutenant Mara, who stood beside him. "We faced storms, predators, and armies larger than ours. Yet here we are, stronger than anyone imagined." Mara nodded, and respected and feared. Every species now knows the name of humanity. Kale smiled faintly. Exile forged us. Every challenge sharpened us. Every battle taught us strategy and unity. And now our legacy begins. Across the galaxy, humans were no longer just conquerors. They were teachers, explorers, and protectors. Young officers trained in tactics that had once saved entire fleets. Scientists shared knowledge of advanced technologies that improved life on countless worlds. Even former enemies now sought alliance with the humans, Realizing cooperation was wiser than resistance. Yet, in the shadows, Kale knew threats remained. The galaxy was vast, and new dangers would arise. Advanced civilizations, unknown species, and cosmic phenomena awaited discovery. Humanity had conquered the known, but the unknown was still full of challenges. Admiral, Mara asked, "Do you think we'll ever stop?" Kale looked at her, eyes gleaming. "No, Mara. Humanity never stops. We learn, adapt, and rise. Today we rule the stars, but tomorrow, who knows what the galaxy will become? We will be ready." In the council chambers of the new human-led alliance, leaders of various systems celebrated a century of peace and progress. Statues of human heroes adorned halls, and holographic displays showed the history of humanity's rise from exile to supremacy. Children played, scientists discovered, and fleets trained, all under protection of humans who had once been outcasts. The memory of exile remained, not as shame, but as a source of strength and pride. Kale sent one final transmission across the galaxy, his voice calm but commanding. "Remember this day. Remember the rise of humanity. We were exiled. We were doubted. Yet through courage, intelligence, and unity, we have become a force that shapes the destiny of the stars. The galaxy belongs to all who strive, and humanity will continue to rise, forever forward, forever vigilant." As the message reached every corner of space, the legacy of humanity settled in the hearts of all species. Never underestimate the exiled, for their rise can change the fate of the stars. Above them, the stars shone brighter than ever. The human fleet sailed into new systems, ready for discovery, ready for challenges, and ready for the future. Their story was far from over. The exiled humans had returned, conquered, and ruled, but most importantly, they had become legends. And in every corner of the galaxy, whispers of humanity's name promised that their rise was only the beginning.